All right, y'all. We're going to hit the cord. I'm going to get 2 uploads today. Once again, this is Fix It with Fran, where I talk about all things faith, family, food, and fun. Doing a review, or another video review of these Sumpri silicone ice molds. So this set came with a black cylinder set, or a spherical mold set. Bring that back for you. And then a large green set. So I will unwrap this for you. And what I like about this, I've shared it before, is that I particularly use these in my work fridge and freezer when going into the office was still a thing. And I love the size of these. So in here you have these large ice cubes. So if you just like the traditional looking ice cube, this will give you a cube that is about 2 inches by 2 inches and is really large. Now some folks might look at that and say, why would I want a large ice cube? I'll tell you why in a minute. This other one is a spherical mold. So when I say that, you have this bottom piece and then this top piece, and you slide it on in together. You pour the water into these different holes, and it doesn't have to be perfect. I can show you that too. But when you pour it into the different holes, you then put it in the freezer. So you try to hold it level and make sure that you have this area here completely adjacent. So you just pinch it, pinch it, pinch it, and it's not hard to do. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect, and I'll prove that to you. Then you take your water and put it through each of these holes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then just try to keep it level, because there will be a little give to this. Sometimes this will try to separate, this will try to come apart, but repeat, it doesn't have to be perfect. So keep it level when you get your water in there and just put it in the freezer. This time, I'll show you kind of the after. So like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. With this, I always end up getting a little bit of water in the top. And like I've mentioned, sometimes it separates a little bit. But you want to try to keep it as close as possible, because what you will end up with, as I drop some ice, are these little round molds. Now this one has been opened after it was frozen, and I grabbed one out so you can see one is missing. I actually used this product. But these I love because they're larger. They keep your drinks colder for longer. So like now in New Orleans, doing different stuff, being outside, being in the garden, to have something like this to go inside my stainless steel cups that keep things colder longer. Sometimes I think it's like 9 to 12 hours for a cold drink, and then nope, that's not true. 9 to 12 hours for a hot drink, and sometimes 12 to up to 24 hours for a cold drink. I've literally had moments where if I'm using one of these round or spherical cubes, I can have it, like put it on the nightstand overnight, have a cup of water, wake up the next morning, the cube is still there and still large, and it hasn't broken down as much. So the benefits that I've mentioned of this, because I've shared these a couple of times between, I don't know if I've shared it on the blog as much, between the blog and my YouTube videos and Instagram and Facebook posts, is that, again, these melt slower. So let's say you're a person like me that if you have something like lemonade or a particular drink that's flavored and you don't want it diluted, but you still feel like you don't get as good of a chill on your drink by just refrigerating it, these ice cubes help a lot because they are larger. They do break down, at least for me, a lot slower, especially when I'm using one of my insulated cups. So again, it helps keep your drink so that you can enjoy it and not dilute it. You can also use these instead of whiskey balls. So if you're a person that drinks whiskey, bourbon, scotch, but you do like to drop some ice in it, some people like I think scotch and ice, or scotch and water with a little bit of ice. Again, this is going to keep your ratio of water, if you do add water or have a certain blend, good, because it's going to melt down slower, keep your drink colder for longer, and not, again, mess up the integrity of the drink as much. So as I said, when I did this, I wasn't able to really get it pinch perfect, or I had it perfect, and then when I moved over to the fridge, it separated a little bit, but that doesn't stop the balls from forming. You just want to make sure when you finally get it rested that you take these two pieces and just squeeze it back together as tight as you can, because the better the fit, the better the shape of your balls will be. So I think that would only be an issue, let's say if you're doing an event or doing a party and you want to use these for a display. Maybe you want to try to do like a water ice vase, because I've seen folks do those. then it would become something. But honestly, this mold, I think if you wanted to do a Jello mold or make Jello balls, you could use this for other things. Maybe even to do to make your own bath bombs. This would actually be really neat. I've never tried to do that, so again, if you tried it and it doesn't work, sorry, just a passing thought that I had while looking at these. But as I always say, this is Fix It with Fran, where I talk about all things faith, family, food, and fun. I do believe that God has given us all gifts and talents that can fix or address some problem that exists in the world. And while we can't solve and fix everything, I do believe we can all fix something. So if you've yet to figure that thing out, I pray that you would pray, seek His face, seek to understand your gifts, your talents, and really tap into your purpose. And until next time, I pray that you would find that thing and fix it. Thank you for watching.